Before I get in this video, I just want to show that, gearing up to do this, I broke my Moment anamorphic lens. This light was on the rail above it and it fell, and this mount right here pierced the exact center of the glass. Fortunately, I have a spare lens, and so the video will go on, but man, that kind of sucks. Little pieces of glass everywhere, man. Using a Kleenex, I don't want to get the glass on my hand. Bye-bye, little lens. You were fun while I had it. This was unfortunately the gold flare one too. I'll have to get another one. I am really bummed. That was such a cool lens. But luckily I have the blue version. That was the gold version, and so I can still do my testing today. And what I'm doing today is looking at rigging the iPhone 12 Pro Max up with more of a heavy payload, a bigger setup. In my previous video, which I'll link down below, I showed what would work and what wouldn't work with various gimbals and this phone. And my conclusion really is you want to go with what I call a hybrid gimbal, a heavier duty gimbal. And so in my testing, I used the 12 Pro Max and an ND filter with the Moondog Labs multi-camera filter mount. Well, a lot of you guys ask about putting lenses and larger filter setups on there, and so that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. Started off pretty crappy with breaking my lens, but now I'll set up a gimbal. This is the Moza Mini P, and I'll also do the Fiutech G6 Max next, and we'll see what kind of payload you can put on this gimbal. So the first thing I'll do, for those that don't know, this is the Moment filter mount, and it has an insert here that works with the Anamorphic. It has a square front. They also have inserts that work with their other lenses that are round. And so you just slide this through, and then the lens is attached to the actual filter mount. And it is pretty secure. I wouldn't feel real comfortable putting too much weight on here, but this is probably more than I would normally put. This is a 62mm variable ND filter. This is just an affordable one from Tiffin, and so this is what I will rig on here. Moment makes 67mm mount and 77mm mount, I think. I have some of their 67mm mount, but this one is the exact size for this, and so I'm going to use this one today. And there's that rig. And that is, it's not heavy in the scheme of things, but it's probably heavy for a phone. All right, well, I've got it pretty well balanced. It is top heavy, and of course it'll go to the left if you're not careful, but this gimbal gives you a lot of different adjustments, and so overall I think it's pretty good. It's not on right now, and no counterweight needed with this big heavy filter attachment on there. And so now I'll turn it on, and it grabbed it. Didn't need to do much because it was very well balanced, and you can tilt it, spin it, and double click and it'll go back to default. And so the Moza Mini P will really, as I said in the previous video, handle almost anything you can throw at it. I've actually put my B-Script Pro on here, no problem at all. So the gimbal works fine and feels really responsive, doesn't feel like it's being overtaxed at all. Again, this gimbal holds about 2 pounds, and so the weight wouldn't be a problem, but these are top heavy with the rigs on there like that. And it's obviously going out to the left, but this required no counterweight either. So the Moza Mini P is an excellent choice if you want to rig out your smartphone with filters. You could put a microphone up here, you could put a light on there. There's a lot of different ways you could go with a hybrid gimbal like this one. And here's the FiLMiC G6 Max, and we'll do the same thing with this one. The phone clamp that comes with this one is just barely big enough to hold this phone, so it might be advisable to use a third-party one, but I'll keep using this one for now. All right, so the G6 Max is balanced. It doesn't balance quite as well as the Moza when the motors aren't on, is what I mean, before you actually turn it on. I've got it to where it's completely even, but if you touch it a little bit, it will flop over. Not a big deal though, because these are strong motors, and the payload on this one is 2.65 pounds. So a little over a half a pound more capacity than the Moza. So we'll turn this one on, and it grabbed it no problem. All right, and this is the G6 Max, and it holds it up no problem as well. I would say this one feels very sturdy, maybe more secure than the Moza, but they both do very well, and I would have no qualms putting even more weight on here at all. So the G6 Max performs very well, maybe even better than the Moza when you're actually using it. It just feels sturdier. This is made out of metal, and the Moza is mainly made out of plastic. It has some metal in it. So this one just feels more stable, I guess, although they both work very well. So again, I really recommend these hybrid gimbals with these larger setups. The smaller gimbals just can't hold the weight, and especially when using the ginormous iPhone 12 Pro Max. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Blake Calhoun. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.